Halacha Yomi. We're starting the laws of Chole. Chole is a person who's sick. We finished the laws of Mukseh. So now we're going to move on to the laws of healing on Shabbat. Okay, so we have to understand there's three types of sick people. There's Chole sheyesh bo sakana, a guy who's deathly ill. Then you have Chole she'en bo sakana. You have a sick person who's not dangerously ill, but he's laying in bed. He doesn't feel well at all. He has a massive headache. He can't see straight. He doesn't function. He's laying in bed on Shabbat. He's suffering. Then you have a person who has mehosh. Mehosh is a person who has just an ailment, small ailment. His hands hurt, his back hurts, his head hurts. But if you had work today, he would go to work. He would tough it out, and he would figure it out, and he would do it. So you should know that there's three levels basically. Okay. Then we have we also have to speak about Yoledet. We have to speak about a lady who gives birth on Shabbat, and we also have to speak about a Brit Milah on Shabbat, and a person has shalom we should never know. A person who has a fire in their house on Shabbat. Okay, good. Are you allowed to break Shabbat in order to save somebody's life? Yes, it is a big mitzvah to break Shabbat in order to save somebody's life. It says the Torah, "V'chai behem v'lo sheyamut behem." Now, if a goy puts a gun to your head and he says, "Break Shabbat, or else I'll kill you," what's halacha? You have to break Shabbat. But if he puts a gun to your head and says, "Do idolatry, or else I'll kill you," you have to give up your life. You can't do idolatry, right? So therefore, it's a mitzvah to save somebody's life. Better he should break one Shabbat, and he'll be able to keep many Shabbats. Okay, you're not even allowed to delay breaking Shabbat to save somebody's life. And actually, the faster you break Shabbat, the more reward you get. And the sages say that even a gadol, Adam gadol, you shouldn't tell somebody, "Oh, you go save him, you go break Shabbat." No, Adam gadol, even the rabbi, even a chashuv person in the community, he should go himself to break Shabbat to show people, look, it's important to break Shabbat to save somebody's life. Don't think like, "Oh, you're doing something bad, you're doing something wrong." No, it's a mitzvah. It's pushed off. The mitzvah is pushed off to save this person's life. Okay, and what if the person tells you who's sick? The person tells you, No, don't break Shabbat for me. It's okay, I'll figure it out. I'll be fine. Don't break Shabbat. No, it's a sort to do that. Even if the person who's sick wants to be stringent and avoid desecrating Shabbat, it's considered a sin to do so. You got to explain to him, no, this is a mitzvah. This is Yetzer Hara that doesn't want you to break Shabbat to save your life. It's a mitzvah to save your life. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. We got to worry and save your life. Number two, what about if somebody you thought he's deathly ill, so you called Hatzalah, you broke Shabbat, they came, and then comes out it wasn't life-threatening. He was fine. He's okay. They didn't really need to call Hatzalah, but we thought we did. Over there, it's not considered a sin. You're not liable for doing any sin. You did a mitzvah. Because even safek sakana, even if there's a safek, if the person's life is in danger, you break Shabbat. So therefore, better that you don't run the risk, better that you call than you don't call at all. And even in the end, he didn't need it, it's not considered you did any avera. Number three. So let's say you don't think he's deathly ill. He doesn't look deathly ill. But the doctor says, if he doesn't go to the hospital now, if you don't break Shabbat right now, he's going to be deathly ill. You got to go to the hospital right now, the doctor says. Are you allowed to believe him? Yes. It's a mitzvah to listen to the doctor. If the doctor says the person's life is a life-threatening illness, and therefore he has to go and break Shabbat. Let's say, they say, that if you get stabbed by a metal nail, let's say, you get stabbed by something metal, if you didn't get your tetanus shot, so they say it could give you an infection in the blood and you could die from this. And the guy says, "Oh, what's the big deal? I just stepped on a nail, I got stabbed on a nail in my hand, my arm. What does it make a difference? I'll be fine, don't worry about it. Break Shabbat for this, come on." And the doctor says, "No, this could be deathly ill. You don't have a tetanus shot. This could be deathly ill." So your person has to know. You have to listen to him, even though you might think it's not a big deal, but the doctor says it is a big deal. Okay, number four. What if the doctor's a goy, right? One may rely on the assessment of a non-Jew or non-observant Jewish doctor that the patient is in a life-threatening situation or to perform halacha. So the goy says, "Yeah, this guy's deathly ill. You got to break Shabbat for him." Then you believe the goy and you also break Shabbat. What if a regular person, who's not a doctor? He says, "Listen, no, this guy is life-threatening. You should break Shabbat. You got to call Hatzalah. I saw this before. I'm not a doctor, but I know this is life-threatening, right? You should listen to him, and you may desecrate his Shabbat in order to help the ill person. However, if possible, one should ask a non-Jew to do so or help the ill person with use of shinui." Okay, good. What if one doctor says he's not deathly ill, one doctor says he is deathly ill? If there's conflicting opinions between doctors, one doctor says the illness is life-threatening, one doctor says not. One should listen to the doctor who says it's life-threatening. You don't play games with this. You take safek, sakana, you go and you break Shabbat. Okay, good. Number 8. One is obligated to desecrate Shabbat, even if one cannot prevent the person from dying, but can keep him alive for a few more minutes. That's a guy, he got a very big wound. No way he's surviving that one. But listen, if I take him to the hospital, he'll survive maybe another day or two. Yes, you break Shabbat even for that, right? Halachically speaking, we don't pull the plug on people. He has a few more hours to live. Every minute is life. You got to preserve life as much as you can. Okay, number 9. One may desecrate Shabbat to attempt to save somebody, even though the chances of the person surviving are not very likely. Similarly, one may perform a treatment that involves Shabbat desecration on a terminally ill person, even though one is unsure that the treatment will work. Let's say they say, oh, you got to do the surgery, or you got to bring him into the hospital. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. Should we break Shabbat for that? Yes. Even if it maybe won't work, you should still continue to try. Okay, number 10. One may desecrate Shabbat to attempt to save a person who is unconscious and appears to have already died. Since a person who appears to be dead can be revived with proper medical assistance, right? They can revive him. So therefore you should break Shabbat. Okay. Number 12. One may violate Shabbat to save a pregnant woman from having miscarriage. Number 13. One must desecrate Shabbat to save a person who's not religious. You hear this? He's not religious. So you desecrate Shabbat for him? Yeah, 100%. Even if he may never keep Shabbat or mitzvot after being saved. What's the logic of breaking one Shabbat? Break one Shabbat, so he should keep many Shabbats, right? But he's not going to keep Shabbat anyways. No, still. Even so, life is life, and you have to save him. Yeah, maybe he'll do teshuvah, exactly. Oh, good question. So we're gonna see Halacha is yes. We even goyim. You're not allowed to kill a goy. What is that? Their life is also a life. You have to save his life also. Let's say if they call Hatzalah, so Hatzalah goes. Even on Shabbat, they go and they save them. Okay, fine. One may violate Shabbat in order to save a person who is attempting to commit suicide. Right? Number 16. One may desecrate Shabbat even if there's multiple doubts, like safek safekah, right? Let's say a building collapsed, right? There was on the news the other day, a building collapsed, and a lot of people are stuck under the rubble. So you don't know if the guy's in there, and even if the guy's in there, maybe he's not alive. You're allowed to still break Shabbat in order to try to save him. If somebody's house is being robbed, and you're scared they're going to hurt you, then what? Then you want to call the police or perform halacha to save yourself. It is allowed if you think it's going to be life-threatening. In Israel, they have this a lot, where they have these weird, suspicious packages, right? If someone sees a suspicious package in the street and thinks may contain a bomb, he may contact the police even on Shabbat to inspect and dispose of the package. I heard a funny story once that there was relatives of mine who were standing by the bus stop, and they see this like little purple backpack, and the backpack is like looks like a kid's backpack, you know, like with like a cartoon on it or whatever, and nobody's standing next to the backpack. And it was those years that these things happened. There people left backpacks randomly and things blew up. They were all nervous. They're asking each other, "This is yours? This is yours? This is yours? Whose is this?" They all got nervous. Everybody said, "We got to call Mishtara. We got to call the police." Police came. The bomb squad came. Everybody came. And whose bag is it? Who's it? And one guy spoke on the side. This Sheli. You, Mr. Tough Guy with the cigarette, you carry the little child backpack. They were shocked, but people got nervous. And the question was, were they allowed to do that on Shabbat if it had to be? Yeah, they were allowed to, because it's safek sakana. Okay, we'll stop over here actually. Yeah, Baruch